How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, we're going to be talking about the 2-year update on the current generation Honda Pilot with the 3.5 liter dual overhead cam with the 10-speed transmission. So there has not been too many issues, a lot of one-off issues here and there, but nothing too common. So that is a good thing. And we're going to talk about some of those things. We're also going to talk about some of the recalls that we have seen and have been presented to us by American Honda, and just kind of talk about everything. In the event that you are interested in purchasing one of these vehicles, you could be well aware of some of the things to expect, some maintenance costs and things of that nature. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with some of the issues we have seen here at my local Honda dealer. And when these vehicles were new, I had one with about 1,000 miles that actually ended up needing a transmission replacement. It was a one-time thing. We have not seen any of those afterwards. Probably just something happened during the manufacturing process and just something not properly set in there or something like that. But we got a new transmission. We installed the transmission and we replaced that transmission and sent the customer back on their way, and they have not been back since. Initially, we had a ton of issues with water getting into the rear wheel speed sensors here. It seems like possibly they have updated something because we have not seen those as of late, but we did see a few of those cases. All we had to do was just blow them out and connect them back together, and everything would be okay at that point. Now, we have seen a couple of floor harnesses. This one actually here is going to get one of those floor harnesses, and one of them was due for some water intrusion from the tailgate that there is, and seems to be a kind of a continuing pattern of that tailgate stuff. And also we have heard, we have not seen here, but of some panoramic roofs also leaking. So as those get resolved, I'll make videos on those as well. But one of those harnesses needed replacement. Actually was coating for the rear differential, and it was a connector inside the vehicle getting wet, causing that code. We had another one just recently that during the assembly, while they were installing that passenger side seat, not on this one, this was here for something else, that one of the wires got pinched right under here and causing no FM reception to the vehicle. So that was just something done at the assembly line that was not done properly by one of the workers. Now this one we see is all apart here, and we have been chasing a short for weeks now, and we cannot come up with anything. We'll drive it, we'll put miles on it, customer will pick it up, and she could almost immediately duplicate it. We try to have her sit in a car, drive with her, and we can't do it, but she takes it home and it happens. Does not happen when the husband drives it, just when the wife drives it. So we came to a conclusion at this point that we are going to put a floor harness on it, because it seems that when something she moves in this area, the floor and the seat harness looks okay, everything is okay, but something in this general area is not right. We try to take some stuff apart. Again, we've driven this car probably like 500 or 600 miles at this point. So between us and American Honda, we came to the conclusion that we're going to start by replacing that floor harness and proceed from there. Hopefully that will be the end of that. So as far as some things go, underneath the engine, we had a guy that I talked to pretty frequently, and he had a couple of heads leaking in these cars. He actually put a head on one. With that replacement head was also leaking, so he ended up replacing that head as well. But other than that, they have been pretty solid. Now, this is Honda's all new dual overhead cam setup. So instead of having just one cam per head, we have two per head. And it is a totally new timing belt package and tensioner. Everything is redesigned at this point for these heads. And these heads were actually introduced in the TLX Type S back in 2021. So they carried over onto here, and just a very different from what we are accustomed to with the single overhead cam setup. Now these also do no longer require a valve adjustment, which is a positive as far as maintenance goes for the customer, because it is typically a good idea to do a valve adjustment right around 100K. So now that we eliminate that, that's definitely a benefit to the customer. Although the time belt package in theory should be a little bit more expensive, because it's going to be a lot more labor intensive. We have to use special tools to lock these cam gears and get everything timed correctly that way. So I have not done one as of yet. When I do one of these, I will be making a video on it. Maybe not the first one, probably the second one, but we'll see. And when that time gets there, I see a lot of these screws being broken already. Techs are over tightening these. These are very thin 4mm screws, I believe here. So 8mm heads with 4mm threads, and they break real easy. No need to over tighten these at this point. But like I said, the 10AT, you know, is all new to the Pilot. It drives, you know, sometimes kind of clunky, and we do see that complaint from time to time, but much more superior to Honda's 6AT and their 9AT from the ZF German setup. So I do like this powertrain a lot more. My only concern would be here at some point possibly an oil leak from those adjustable VTC cam gears. But other than that, I do like everything else about this. So we'll see how they go as time passes by. So some of the recalls, and one of them is actually recent, actually came out today. So depending on when you see this video, I may or may have not talked about that recall already, but that recall does affect 2023 to 25 Honda Pilots, and it could code for potentially a P061B, and it is a stop sell recall. And all we need to do if the vehicle is affected is perform a PGMFI update, and it does affect all trims. So it doesn't matter what trim you get, it does affect all trims. So that is one of the recalls. Another recent recall that affects 23 to 25 Pilots as well is for the fuel pipe filler neck inspection. All we have to do is take out this wheel here, we pull out this fender liner here, and we inspect and make sure everything is connected nice and tight. If not, then we take it apart, we clean it and connect it you know, back together, and that is all that is needed as far as that goes. Real simple, real easy. 23, 24 model years, had a driver's side seat cushion frame bolt loose. Only about 30 of them or so were affected, and it would get the seat frame replaced. So only about 30 or so were affected, so not a big deal. And then 23 to 24, all model years, all trims, if affected, was for a rack replacement already. I have not done one of those, but we have a guy here that has done 4 or 5 of those, and that's just if it's affected, it gets a replacement, no questions asked. So again, as we see here, this car is apart, and you know, we are once again just driving this to try to replicate the customer's concern. But over here inside, we haven't had many issues. We did find some of these plugs just soft set, so causing some wacky stuff to happen. For instance, maybe the window wouldn't work or the door locks, and when we take out the door panel, the connectors were disconnected either here or like at the window switch, for example, you know, things of that nature. We've also seen a few of these window regulators bolts being loose. So again, not a big deal, but just simple, small, silly stuff that seem to be a lot of it first model year issues. Now that we're into the second year cycle of these cars, seems to be a lot better. So it just seems Honda had to, you know, get some of the stuff fine-tuned over there. The only issue that really concerns me here, and this is with basically any Honda, is all these switches here right next to the cup holders. Now, if any liquid gets on these, yes, it may be okay for a while. I actually had a guy message me saying, hey, we test those pretty thoroughly, but any liquid damage, whether it doesn't affect the circuit or not, if it's something sticky, it could cause these buttons to stick down or up, or even breadcrumbs or things of that nature. So I think they could probably do a better job of relocating these, maybe this switch a little bit higher, and then these switches here, potentially put them on this panel right here. There's plenty of room. It's just an e-brake switch. My TLX has it here. It is a lot better place than over here, in my personal opinion. All right, a couple more things to mention here. So on the higher trims here, we have some puddle lights here that are failing. So this one doesn't have them clearly, but at this point, this has been an issue for years. I don't know if Honda's gonna ever have a fix for that, which is a shame. Another thing, and this is very area-based here, is there is a major radar theft going on. The radars sit right behind here. These pop out real easy. There are some radar brackets that are offered to protect these, but at times it seems like they are taking the whole entire grille. As you can see, it's built in here to the grille. There's nothing behind it. Right built into the grille, so they take the whole grille. Even with those radar covers, these are real fragile. Too easy to steal, unfortunately, but something that if you're in a major city, you want to consider, because it is happening, unfortunately. So we have seen these battery sensor wires on 2 different occasions break already. Now this one seems to have a decent amount of slack, but at times could be under pressure, causing this pink wire here to break. So not something that we want to see. This is real close to the connector and makes it real difficult to repair. So I think the battery just slides over just a hair is enough to give it the slack that we see here without causing an issue. Some of them seem to be pushed over too much of something. I'm going to be making a point myself to check and just adjust the battery over just a minute, just move it like that. And this one actually seems loose. So I'm going to take a closer look at this and see what is going on here, because that should not be like that. But overall, I know there's a lot of negative things that we spoke about here, but we are at the dealer, so we're going to see a lot of issues. People come here to get them fixed. They're not going to go to an independent shop when a car has warranty to fix these. So you know, hopefully this video was helpful to somebody out there. If you're a tech and you've seen some other issues, let me know. If you're a consumer and you've had any issues or no issues, let us know in the comment section down below as well, so we can all talk about it. So with that being said, I'll catch everyone on the next one.